Hey, I'm Ryan Reyes. I'm a 21-year-old college student, and I think I'm terrible at relationships. To put things into perspective, I've been single for the past 2.5 years now. Haven't really been able to find a girl that I can really vibe with, that I can settle down with. I mean, the past couple of girls I've talked to, things just haven't really worked out, and it got me thinking, like, is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there something that I'm not really understanding, and is that the reason why I'm still single right now? Because don't get me wrong, I've been trying. So I'm gonna ask a couple people what they think about being in a relationship and what it's like for some people that are in a relationship or married. Just to, give me some answers and a little bit of closure of why I can't find someone. I feel like this is also a very common thing for people my age, young love and young relationships, especially with a lot of people my age feeling like when they get dumped or if they break up with someone that it's the end of the world. So trust me, I know I'm not the only person going through this right now. So I'm making this for everyone out there, everyone who is searching for someone but can't find anyone now. I asked a couple of my friends and family what they think about love and relationships, and we're gonna see their answers to my questions about how relationships really work and how love really works.
My name is Alyssa.
I'm Landon Gogo.
I'm Jaden Diaz.
Angelica.
Jess.
Michael.
Owen.
I'm Jordan.
My name's Keisha.
Oh, I'm single, bro.
I'm taken for like 3 years.
Whatever.
Single. I currently am talking to someone and I am looking for a relationship now. I feel like I'm ready for it. But yes, I am currently talking to someone.
Currently complicated. It's like a talking stage right
Yours
now.
is talking, but also like kind of more of a commitment.
Yeah.
I'm married, fully committed.
Doesn't have a ring right now.
That's about it. I don't wear the ring,
Yeah.
but I'm married. Been married for 4 years now. Wow. Been in a relationship for 8. So I got married when I turned 18.
We've been together for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to be 3.
I'm single.
For some people, they are actively looking for a relationship, and for some others, they aren't. Those people are choosing to be in one and choosing not to be in one. But for others, they might actually be pursuing a relationship but not able to find one, kind of like me.
If I'm being honest with myself, you guys told me to, but I'm actually like really picky. Like, you guys told me that a lot, but I didn't want to believe it, but I think that's the reason why. It's like half and half. Like, part of me is like, oh, I'm free to do whatever I want. Like, I can just go out whenever I want to, but whenever I see those like couple TikToks, it makes me like feel like lonely, bro. Not even gonna lie.
It's a choice. I just feel like it's not in the cards right now. Well, like, I'm focusing more on school and other hobbies, and I just feel like, well, I don't really want one or need one, but like, I kind of want one, but like, at the same time, I'm just not trying to get in one.
I mean, yes, but also I got out of a relationship not too long ago. More of like a toxic, complicated relationship, but it's more of also a choice.
Everyone has preferences, not necessarily a type, but there's always something that you're looking for, whether it's physically or emotionally. There's certain traits that you find attractive from someone.
Well, Filipinos, bro. Like, just straight up Filipinos.
You're in a relationship, but like,
I don't know. Somebody who's good to me. That's all it is. Somebody who's like, oh, I can vibe with. That's all I gotta say.
I don't really have a perfect type, I guess. I think it's just for me, I'm just looking if I connect with that person more than looking for a type, because I feel like when you're saying what's your type, you're looking more for like looks and how that person looks particularly. So for me, it's just personality. Are you like a good person? Do you know how to like treat that person? Yeah.
now obviously when you're in a relationship, there's certain things, certain aspects of that relationship that make it work so well. So what are some aspects that couples go through and couples understand that help them work out so well?
It's mostly communication.
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 Like,
Yeah.
we're very open to each other. So,
Yeah, if there's like any problems, we're just like straight up about it, and then yeah.
Communication's a big thing, because you want to be able to communicate with that person about, not always what you're doing, but also making sure like you guys are both on the same page, but also that like if you guys ever get into an argument, bicker, whatever the situation is, you guys talk it out all the time. So communication is like a very, very big thing.
There's got to be something new that you learn from your partner, something that they help you understand better. I mean, it's kind of like making a new friend. You learn more things about them, you learn more things about yourself that you need to change, you learn more things about life in general. Meeting someone new, you're always going to learn something from them.
From her, I've learned how to be more organized and tighten it with my schedule and just better with like time management.
I would say that like I learned to like have fun, kind of like I like worry about like less things, and then like I'm not as like, cause like he said, I'm very like time, like I need to like get my shit done, but like sometimes I just like let go and just have fun because of him.
You know, the beginning stages of a relationship is always beautiful, but like everything else, you grow out of those stages and you start getting more comfortable with your partner, and like you really never get to truly know your partner. Like I still to this day figure out new things about my husband that I didn't know before, or like we'll have conversations that I never thought we would end up having. So it's just a matter of being patient with each other and being willing to grow. And I mean, it's different for everyone's scenario, but for me, like one of the biggest things was like I was afraid of being married at a young age because it is a huge commitment. And I come from a very like traditional Hispanic household, so like splitting up is not like a thing that's looked like a positive thing. It's frowned upon. So it's once I knew that I was gonna get married, I knew I was gonna be committed and I had to make it work. But I also like have grown to figure out that I can be selfish. Like, you know, divorces are there for a reason, and that's because, you know, you can end up with the wrong person. Like they start off well and it can change.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say my relationships is like perfect. It has its balances.
I finally learned how to be like independent. Like I said, I'm done. And when I stopped talking to him, it was so good. Like I felt like amazing, you know, I felt like better.
There's like multiple things I think I would have done differently. A lot of things. Like there's a few decisions that should have and shouldn't have been made, and it really showed how childish I was. I learned to think about your actions more and how they could affect other people.
I don't know. I think one thing she's really taught me is like how to really be like passionate to things that I'm passionate about. Like there's things where I do have strong feelings towards, but I never really like feel the need to like express them or like really get into them. But she's really just encouraged me to take that push to like actually try these things out that I'm actually interested in.
Now, obviously, if you're with someone, there are gonna be some regrets. I know I definitely have some. But do people that are in a relationship really wish they were single sometimes? Do they ever have that thought pop into their heads?
For me, you know, that's a very good question. I still constantly think about it. You know, I feel like I'm a very like open kind of person, like very realistic. I've always wanted to be very realistic, down to earth person, because you can create a great scenario in your head, but realistically it's not going to be perfect all the time. So for me, yes, I do miss my independence and being able to, you know, hey, let's go out with the girls and like do this. No, like I had to get it out of my system pretty quickly. I'm not allowed to do the same things people my age are doing now. Yeah. You know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. You know, the good thing is I found my partner, and the bad thing is I missed out on so much of like.
For everyone's personality, this doesn't even just have to be with relationships. I feel like past experiences play a big role into how they act right now. Some people might have been traumatized back then because of past experiences, and it may affect the way that they think or act right now about their partner.
Maybe I should take the mic for this one, bro. Alright, the first one that messed me up, Ryan was there with me. I don't think Jaden was. It was homecoming. I was talking to this girl for like, how long? did a big homecoming proposal in front of the whole school. And then I thought things were going great. She said yes. And then the night of homecoming, I got ghosted. Didn't say a word to me. That's pretty much it. I thought I had a awesome homecoming date. That was gonna be a great night. It was a great night, but no, it just hurt. The other one, oh my, where do I start with this? Oh yeah, so volunteering at PIFA, and then this girl goes up to me, and then just asked me for my Instagram. I was like, okay, didn't think anything of it. And then we just started texting. It was like 3-month talking stage. And then I come to find out that she was talking to this guy the whole time, or she was in a relationship with this guy the whole time. And then, like, the same situation, I got played twice. So the second one hurt even more, because I thought I actually had something again. And then after that, I haven't talked to anybody, like, since then. Like, had a good talking stage. I didn't really, like, want to put in the effort anymore. So, yeah.
I only dated one girl, and that was, like, a really big learning lesson, I think, to help me grow as a person.
I've only had like one like committed relationship, and it was good in the beginning. Then it went horribly bad. A lot of my friends saw how it happened and how it ended. So I think with like my previous relationships or relationship did not go too well. But it made me learn what I wanted about myself and what I'm really, really looking for.
I've never like introduced anyone to my mom, like ever. Like not even my ex-boyfriend. I introduced, she knew I was talking to him, but she never liked him because how he treated me. He never like walked me up to my door, say goodbye to me, any of that, He kind of ruined things later on that she's like, this is not the perfect guy for you. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you're right. But then I kept going back to him because he manipulated me so much. Like, he would leave me for someone else, and then he would come back and leave that person. And then when he was talking to someone new, he would leave me again. I loved him for so long, but I finally learned I stopped loving him. And I wish I told him that because, he kept calling me, kept texting me, stuff. But, he found out that I was talking to someone, and then he flipped out. He was, calling me all these bad stuff. But then later on, he's like, no, I want you. I want to marry you. I want to have a kid with, I want to have children with you. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done.
From past relationships, I developed trust issues 100%, dude. Just a lot of betrayal during those relationships. It just made me not want one anymore.
I don't know. I think, for me, a trouble with my relationship is just, sometimes feeling like you're, the pincushion to, the other person's emotional status.
Now, when you're with someone, there are going to be differences with family, with culture. Those things come into play, and sometimes problems will arise.
It's not like I'm doing it bad. I don't do things bad on my end, but, sometimes things in her life goes bad, and then I just gotta help her out. Oh, yeah, my relationship is long distance. So it's kind of hard sometimes.
I was a daddy's girl, and I'm still a daddy's girl. I grew up very tomboyish, and I, at a very young age, picked out what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I'm my parents are still together. I can't relate to a broken home or, not having a father figure or mother figure in my life. I think every family does mold you to what you want in your near future. I am picking the best traits that I want to pass on for my kids. So whatever I didn't like is the stuff that I'm trying to remove out of my lifestyle.
I am a daddy's girl, but at the same time, I can also be have a good relationship with my mom, where that love-hate relationship my mom and I have. There's times where it's I don't want to be with my mom. Let me go hang out with my dad, and then vice versa. Even though my parents are still together, it's always been like that.
Can I talk about my parents' relationship and how that impacted? My parents were horrible. I live in a toxic household. I feel like I've always lived in a toxic household. Sorry. I feel I've grown up with toxic people, and it's it affects me so much. and
Do you have any tissues?
it's right here. It's hard because like feel like that impacted my relationships with toxic men, you know? It's just co-parenting was hard because my dad would be like, tell your mom she's a, you know, this and that, like she's doing this wrong. And then my mom would be like the same thing, you know, you're a bad dad, you're never here, you know? And like my mom thinks I'm on my dad's side. That's what hurts the most, that she thinks I'm on his side when I'm literally not on anybody's side.
I actually decided to interview my 9-year-old younger brother just because I feel like I needed to get some insight about what a younger person would think. Because I feel like at that age, you're still not really understanding those emotions, not really talking to guys or girls yet. It can be confusing for some kids. So I asked him, like, does he want to be in a relationship? If he would even consider that a relationship at that age? Or how does he feel about girls? How does he feel about dating?
I do not have a girlfriend or whatever. I feel like we're too young to be dating. At 9. Maybe when I grow up to be older, and yeah, I probably won't want one right now.
Now, after all those discussions, some advice would be nice for the people that are looking for a relationship.
I think it's more, the advice I would have is look for personality and see if you kind of vibe out, because I know people tend to look for more of like the looks and if like that person's like fit or active, but it's more of like, do they have like a good personality? Do you vibe out with like that person? And do you have that connection that you've been looking for, I guess?
Similar interest and open communication is like,
it's a key.
Yeah, I think it's like if you feel a connection, then it's like kind of like a flow, I guess.
Yeah. Like
I don't know how to explain it.
It just makes sense. I don't know. And then look for someone that's like, what's it called? Like what you're lacking. It's kind of like you have to like balance each other out type shit.
And like honesty, trust, like that's all a good foundation you need to start building from now.
Yeah.
I'm only 21 years old, and I'm definitely not worried about like me being old and single still and lonely, but it's definitely something I think about every once in a while. And I always do think about like, what am I doing wrong? You know, what can I do to make these things work out? Just because the last couple of girls haven't worked out, and I always feel like I'm trying my best. I feel like I'm doing my best, and I feel like the biggest problem with myself is that I blame myself way too much. Sometimes things just don't really work out, and it's not always someone's fault. So that's something I really need to work on in my head. I understand I'm still young, and a lot of you watching this are probably still really young too, so if you are single, don't worry about it. Eventually you will find someone. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are 8 billion people on this planet now. We just reached 8 billion. What are the chances that you're gonna run into someone that you vibe with, someone that you eventually end up loving, someone that you marry? It's not the end of the world if you're still single. There's still hope for everyone. So I hope watching this has given you some hope and some inspiration. Also, don't think that pursuing a relationship should be your mindset every single day. Focus on your priorities, and eventually maybe that right person will come to you. Love isn't a choice, it's something that you feel, and eventually you will gain that feeling with someone. And hopefully for all of us, including myself, that day will come soon.